TV Unity is still having its second act. Look around at these men and judge how much they love the world. They really care about you. And I know that lots of people have been watching you because they loved your show. This is really cool. People always cheer for the American Idol contestant who does more than just sing. Roland Abante left like every other guy did until he began to sing. People in the room stopped moving and stared. Simon raised an eyebrow, which is the same as standing ovation. You missed some things though. After the interview that went viral, what happened? The twist in the semifinals? What did Roland have to deal with when no one was cheering? From fishing to lighting up the stage? Roland Dante was born on August 17, 1978, in Santander, Cebu, a small town by the sea. One of the most southern cities on the island of Cebu is this one. If you wanted to go somewhere beautiful, Santander wasn't a good choice. It was tucked between rough hills and the ocean. Roland's life has been sad and hard from the very beginning. Many people in the town barely made it from one paycheck to the next. And in seaside towns like theirs, fishing is a job that has been passed down from generation to generation. Roland has been asked to help since he was very little. He and his dad would go to sea before the sun came up. Their simple bunka outrigger boat rocked gently against the waves as they cast their nets by the light of a lamp. They used the ocean to make a living and learned how to be patient, strong, and have hope from it. During those long, hard hours at sea, Roland's music became his friend. When he had nothing else to do, he would sing to himself, the sea and the sky. The wind was in his voice, and the beat of the waves seemed to match how he felt about each note. Ballads, which had big highs and painful lows, were his best type of music. It wasn't just pastime for Roland. He was also training, getting better at a skill he had learned naturally on the water instead of in a classroom. Back on land, things were still pretty easy. His family didn't have the money for individual music lessons, and there weren't any nearby. Roland, on the other hand, thought of things all over the place, hearing strong singers like Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and the well-known band Journey on the radio as a child taught him every note and nuance. They would keep playing their songs and he would try to sing like them. Late at night, he would mess around with his voice. Nobody in his family was an artist, but they could tell he was good. They told him to sing at home, in church, and at nearby fiestas. When Roland was young, he had a voice that could do more than sing. He could stand in front of a crowd and share it. His family was having a rough time, but their faith in him gave him hope, which was very important. Roland Abante didn't give up on his dreams, even though everyone else's seemed too big for the shore. Before he became popular, Roland Abante did odd jobs. He was an ordinary man from Santander, Cebu, who looked for work as a fisherman. He was at sea a lot, but singing was always his passion. In his 20s and 30s, Roland fished and sang at small parties around town. He didn't make much money from these, but they made him happy. People in the area began to notice how good he was at singing, and soon he was being asked to sing at weddings, fiestas, and other community events all the time. Many of these shows only said thank you or didn't pay much. Still, Roland loved playing and did it all the time to feel better about himself. He also competed in small song contests in nearby places. He didn't win very often, but when he did, it kept his dream alive. To help pay for his family's needs, he had to do extra work like giving packages or riding his bike. That meant music had to wait. He first played in small restaurants and bars all over Cebu in the early 2000s. He was best at English love songs and original Filipino music, OPM. He sang songs by Gary Valenciano, Martin Rivera, Journey, and even Whitney Houston. These shows helped him get better and meet more people on stage. Roland also put online videos of himself singing. You can hear his versions of sad songs on Facebook and YouTube. He recorded them on a simple phone or a stolen camera. His honest and passionate writing style made people pay attention, even if it happened slowly at first. All of this happened while a lot of issues were being fixed. Roland didn't have a boss, a lot of free time, or any cool tools. His wife Genevieve always believed in him, even when other people thought his dream of singing was silly. During his dream, she took care of the family, and that help made all the difference. Roland's big break came when he joined the second season of Tawag ng Tanghalan in 2017. It was a popular singing competition that aired on ABS-CBN's It's Showtime at noon. Roland sang against other talented singers, and Adeline Rablin won. I Loved You But I Lied by Michael Bolton was one of his best songs because it showed how emotionally deep and wide his voice was. He did really well and got a 93.8%, which means you win every day. Even though Adeline got a score of 90, he didn't win the whole thing. Roland made a name for himself when she sang I Am Changing and got an extra 6%. He didn't make it to the semifinals, even though the judges and the crowd liked his strong voice. To get there, contestants had to win 5 times in a row. Abante didn't win the title, but his time on Tawag ng Tanghalan helped him get more work in the entertainment business. He was a guest star on shows like Gandang Gabi Vice and was on ASAP with well-known artists like Gary Valenciano and Arnel Pineda. In this video, Roland Abante tries out for America's Got Talent. Everything changed for him when he walked on stage that night in 2023. In the Philippines, he worked as a fisherman and sang at small events the year before. After that, a video of him singing "I Will Always Love You" at a party made him famous. When the people who make American Idol saw that video go popular, they asked the person to come in for an audition. Roland first wasn't sure if he should go. He didn't speak English very well, hadn't been into school, and had never been outside of the country. Even so, his family and friends kept pushing him to do it. When I got to Los Angeles, it felt like I was in a different world. Roland was scared and worried about how other people would feel about him, but he held on to his voice because it was the only thing he knew well. He walked out on June 6 wearing a black shirt and pants and said that he was a fisherman and the father of 4 kids. Then he began to sing "When a Man Loves a Woman." Right away, everything changed. Pearl and the crowd stopped talking and paid close attention. He made the room come alive with his words. By the end of the song, everyone in the room was on their feet and the judges looked shocked. He told a great story, was honest, and each note had a lot of power. And his music was great too. Someone told him that shows like AGT exist because of his style and story. Someone else said he scared her and called him a celebrity who was hiding. He had come a long way from being poor, and everyone agreed that he gave it his all on stage. Sophia even got mad at him and told him he deserved that moment. All 4 judges said yes. Terry Crews gave him a big hug and told him that he was the show's heart and the reason people watched. That show was seen by people all over the world, which helped him move on to the next round. Another huge number of people watched his talk. This time it had over 20 million views all over the world. Roland Abante, the fisherman with the big voice, had finally found his stage. There has been a lot of talk about the show since its first episode in 2006. This is how it makes talent shine. Lots of people can do something on a big stage that many people can see. On AGT, you can sing, dance, tell jokes, or do magic to win money and the chance to be the star of a Las Vegas show. Sheryl Crow, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Sofia Vergara are the judges. The show is hosted by Terry Crews. What makes AGT special is how it is set up. The acts have to try out and perform quickly, usually in 90 seconds. People watching and the judges both have a say in who goes on. This makes the show fun and engaging. The golden buzzer was added to the show in season 9. This lets each judge and then the host send one act straight to the live shows. People remember these buzzer moments, which are often sad and make both the artist and the crowd cry. It also shows how much the judges care, which makes people want to follow the contestants more. After that, there is a second round to decide who goes to the live shows. This third step has changed over the years. People trained and did the show again. It used to be called Las Vegas Callbacks. It was later renamed Vegas Verdicts, and the judges picked the best tryouts from tapes they watched. Over time, it changed its name to Judgment Week and took place in New York. Judges' cuts were added from season 10 to season 14. It was act-off time again in front of the main judges and a guest judge with their own golden buzzer. This round was cut short in season 15 because of COVID-19. By season 16, the show was more like Britain's Got Talent, with contestants competing in groups to make it to the live finals. Live shows of the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals are shown every week. These episodes are now being made in LA for everyone performs again, and the judges can still stop acts in the middle of their sets with their buzzers. Then the watchers vote and a results show announces the winner. Roland's poignant playoff song lets remember how Roland moved on to the next round. The semifinals are the next big thing. In September 2023, Roland was very brave when he sang Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You." Roland didn't give up, even though it's a really tough song. It was soft and slow at first, letting his feelings flow. Then he built up to those big high notes that made everyone in the Dolby Theater dance. There was no need for crazy effects or flashing lights. It was just his voice, his honest stage presence, and the raw feeling that made him famous. When he was done, everyone in the room cheered and stood up. No one in the theater was the only one. There were also crazy fans on the internet. Many people on social media told him that what he did was amazing and moved them. The Philippines was where he was born and raised, but now he was in charge of one of the world's biggest shows. The number of times people told his story made it stand out. Nothing fancy, just skill and heart. It was clear that the experts thought about it. Roland made everyone remember what is meant AGT is all about. Finding sounds that make us feel something and surprise us. Roland made people feel things besides just singing. Sofia Vergara cried again and told Roland that everything he sang was true. Heidi Klum thought it was great that he took the song and made it his own. Roland sings songs and Howie Mandel said something very important. Roland's voice tells stories. There was still a lot of excitement behind the scenes. There was a smile on the host's face. He told Roland that he was the star of the show. Through a video call, his family in the Philippines joined him. There was a time when everything worked out perfectly. In the semifinals, Roland's life changed in an instant, but it was clear that two other applicants were really interested in him. Anna Duzman is a famed artist who is 24 years old and known for her card tricks and smooth sleight of hand. She made waves, not just appeared on America's Got Talent. Anna's unique style of close-up magic and card tricks amazed everyone. There have only been a few women magicians who have ever made it to the first round of the AGT. She was nice, sure of herself, skilled, and a little mysterious, so it was a good conversation. The judges, Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Sofia Vergara, all knew about it. She got their card picks wrong in ways that didn't make sense. The crowd jumped to their feet right away because they were all shocked by the last show. It was clear that the judges liked what they saw. Heidi Klum quickly said that people who are this good at magic don't happen very often. "We need more people like you," she told him. At the show, Sophia thought Anna's act was fun and exciting, and Simon Cowell liked how she changed the way magic is done today. Fans thought it was great that all three judges said yes. Anne began well. Lots of people liked her because she wasn't just another magician. She made the show her own by adding her own style and personality. Anna knew she had to do better in the semifinals, and she did. She did some of her usual card tricks, but this time she used a bigger deck and got even more people to help her with the trick. It was flashier, more dangerous, and really bigger and better. She stayed cool, was great on stage, and pulled off another shocking bit of news that stunned everyone. The judges liked it most of the time. Heidi told her again, "You show that women can rule magic." Howie thought her act was smart and liked how she was feeling better about herself. Simon thought the pace could have been faster, but he agreed that it was better than her first round. Sophia said it best, "Spectacular, and so cool." Even though it wasn't a great show, people liked Anna's new style and drive. She beat out emotional acts like Roland Abante in the same round to get enough votes to make it to the finals. How Chibi Unity got to be on America's Got Talent. Chibi Unity is a lively dance group from Japan that did really well on the show. Since it was the last test of the season, they knew they had to do well, and they did. The test they did, which aired in June 2023, was very exciting. The group danced in a way that mixed hip-hop, modern sack moves, and old Japanese styles. They all wore the same clothes and moved at the same time. This led to a show that made people sad and happy at the same time. It was impossible for people in the crowd not to cheer. Each flip, jump, and turn was quick and powerful. Because of how well their movements matched, it looked like the whole group was moving at the same time. It was more than just a dance. The judges also felt that way. He said they were one of the best dance groups we've ever had. Heidi Klum said they were out of this world. Sofia Vergara told us that their happiness spread to everyone else. Another person who thought they could win was Howie Mandel. He said that their style was world and everyone could like it. At the end of their interview, Chibi Unity got a standing ovation, which meant they were going to the next round. A lot of fans said right away that they were one of the most exciting dance groups the show had seen in years. Others were just amazed by how talented and lively they were. Many people liked how their art showed off their culture. Some people did wonder, though, if they could stay that focused in real life. A lot of things went wrong for Chibi Unity in the semi-finals on September 12, 2023. One of their dancers got hurt a little during the show. Still, they didn't let it get to them. They kept going because they were strong and had a plan. The routine that night was just as fun as the first one. That being said, this time it was more in-depth and based on their past. It felt better, the moves were safer, and the routine was tighter. With the small glitch, the show didn't miss a beat. It was brave and uplifting, and Simon Cowell praised them for not giving up. Heidi Klum liked how their dance showed soul and heart. Sophia was shocked at how simple everything looked. It was great that they turned something bad into something great, according to Howie. As the semi-final results of America's Got Talent came in, the room was tense. Who stayed and who left? There was silence in the crowd. Every act was stacked on top of each other, and it looked like everyone was shocked. While the votes were being counted, no one knew what would come next. For most of them, this was the end of a long trip. But for some lucky people, it was just the beginning of the next part. At the end of the night, Anna Duzman and Chibi Unity won big, and will now go to the finals. She thought it was a very important moment. Making it to the end wasn't just a win for her. That's a time when women in magic should be happy. Most people who watched felt that Anna brought something new and different to the stage, but some weren't sure if it had the emotional power of a strong singer like Roland Abante. What a treat she was this season. She was so cute, spoke so well, and could do so many cool card tricks. Since she was sure of herself and had great style, she showed that magic can be fun and make people feel good. It also felt like Chibi Unity had won the gains it made. They stood out because they were busy, could work well with others, and were proud of their culture. Early in the fight, one of their dancers got hurt, but they didn't give up and gave it their all. People were moved by their semifinal show, not just amazed. Fans were reminded of why they loved the band in the first place. But some people couldn't join in the fun. Roland Abante's show was very moving, but it didn't make it to the finish line. He didn't get upset when he lost. Instead, he smiled and thanked his friends. Though he didn't show sadness on stage, he was more upset off-screen. Roland said afterward that the trip was really tough and tired. After he was kicked off, his boss Joel Sag planned a chill trip for him to Hawaii. Roland was able to rest, take a break, and feel better. Fans also let out their anger on social media at the same time. A lot of people thought Roland should have been in the end, and that the person who was picked wasn't fair. It was backed by a lot of well-known Filipinos, like singer Gary Valenciano. Valenciano wrote, "Roland, you didn't lose, you won the world's heart." Roland is no longer in the game, but his art will live on. After hours, Roland Abante's real life is just as honest as his stage life. He is happy to be married to Genevieve Abante. Their 4 children have not been named in public. Roland Abante has always been there for him, even when things were bad. Roland calls her his rock, even when money was tight and America's Got Talent was up and down. They lived a simple life in Santander, Philippines before his big break. He told AGT, "Without Genevieve, I wouldn't be here. She's my everything." To make ends meet, Roland fished for money and sang at small events in his area. Life wasn't always easy for him, but he loved music and his family. "As of late, things have been getting better for me since I joined AGT and met new people. They can now make their lives better and dream a little bigger." However, Roland stays polite, even though he is well known now. His strong Christian faith guides everything he does. He has always believed that God gave him words. He often says, "I sing to thank God for me." His shows always show that he is grateful, no matter where he is or how big the stage is. Since Roland got back to the Philippines, everyone treats him like a hero. It looks like he wants to write and record his own songs so that he can use them to tell his story. He still acts a lot. Getting people excited about their dreams is another thing he loves to do. This is especially true for young people in his country. A fisherman like Roland says, "If I can do this, anyone can." Over the years, Roland has become close with friends and other artists. He is friendly with Shadow Ace, another Filipino star, because they both went through the same thing on AGT. It also says a lot that Roland looks up to Whitney Houston. He says her music taught him how to feel each note he sings. Since AGT, well-known people like Martin Rivera and Regine Velasquez have shown they want to work with him. Where is he now? He didn't slow down after being on America's Got Talent. He actually had more to do. Because of his fame from AGT, it's been fun for him to act in both the Philippines and the US. In December 2024, he sang live at Pine Kitchen in Woodbridge, Virginia. A lot of fans crowded into the diner just to hear his emotional, strong voice. The trip is still going on. He already has a show set for May 31st, 2025 at the Ati-Atahan restaurant in Chicago. There is talk online that a lot of people are excited about the show because it gives them a chance to hear Roland's deep voice live. A lot of his Instagram posts are thank you notes to his fans for their love and support. He also makes it sound like he'll be doing more shows in 2025. In his social media posts, he happily tags both the Philippines and the USA. This shows that he now has fans in 2 countries. Roland does more than just challenges and live shows though. He's writing his own songs, which is something new for him. He told people on Facebook in early 2025 that he was making his own songs. That's a big step for someone who used to only sing songs and singing. In his simple, honest posts, he still talks about things like how he is spending Christmas in the US, or his quiet thoughts over the holidays. Even though he's well known now, he's still the humble guy who just wanted to sing in public. He now makes music, plays shows all over the world, and stays in touch with friends everywhere. We hope you had fun with this video. Hold on,